Hey, what's up? It's your grumpy neat chick, and you're watching How to Make a Sash slash Bow Belt with me. So, what you'll need is a tape measure, yardstick, scissors, of course, the measurement of the person, waist, fabric, a lot of fabric, all the way there, threads corresponding with the fabric, the serger, optional, of course, a sewing machine, and I have both, so. So what you want to do is lay out your fabric to find the 0 point from the edge and draw a line all the way down. Something else that you'll need is a chalk for the fabric. So what you want to do is grab those scissors that you had in the beginning and cut that line that you just made marking the 0. What I try to do is I try to cut right on the line just to make sure that everything is straight because we really depend on that line to make the fabric centered and looking great. So yeah. The person wearing this sash, her waist is 41 inches. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the mark with that chalk that we used at 41 inch, and I'm going to make that mark, and I'm going to make another mark following that one. And following that mark that we just made, we're going to go all the way down and make a second mark at 41 inches, and that would be actually the waist line times 2. Okay, so from that mark that you just made, you're going to go all the way down, you're going to get to 18. And 18 marks actually where the belt loop is going to be, and you're going to give it a little bit of seam allowance. And just to keep everything in order and in line, just draw a line all the way down to the other end of the fabric just to keep everything straight. Next, what we're doing is measuring the width of the bow belt, and she wants hers at 5 inches. What I've done is I've added an extra ½ inch and an inch for seam allowance, just in case she wants to alter or make it a little bit wide. Yeah, so what I'm doing right now is I'm measuring the loop, like I said, for 5 inches, and there is a seam allowance. What I've done with this particular garment is I've given it a little bit more seam allowance than usual, just because in garments like this, you know, the width they might want to adjust the width, make it a little bit bigger or smaller, so just to give that room for alteration. What I'm doing here is we're going to snippy cut again, cutting all the way down to that line that we drew, matching the other end of the fabric, just to make sure that it's straight. I've actually added notches, which is just 2 cuts just to mark the fabric, for me to know that there's the width of the bow belt as well as the seam allowance. So go ahead and keep snapping, snap. This one is so easy. Put away the fabric that you're not using. It actually makes life much more easier because it makes everything cleaner and you're able to work a lot more faster. Put it away! By this time, we are at the point where we want to be. We're going to cut the fabric finally all the way out. You should have 41 plus 41, 18 plus 18. You do the math. You know how much fabric you're supposed to have to cut out. So let's start cutting. Oh, how could I forget? Okay, so this one is a little bit different, and it doesn't apply to everyone who's going to be watching this tutorial. My person who's wearing the garment actually wants the garment to be descending from the edge of the bow belt towards where it's going to hit her waist on the seam allowance to the side. So if I'm explaining that correctly, what I'm going to do, I'm about to cut from the edge of the fabric all the way down to just 20 inches in. I'm going to be ascending the line there to give it a little bit of a slash look for the bow belt. So again, this doesn't apply to everyone who's going to be making this belt. Just if you want to have that style. And we're ready to cut. So we're going to cut from the ascending line down. This will be about 6.5 inches like we measured. Cutting all the way across to the other ascending line, which would be about, really right now, 4.5 inches, and when it's finished, should be 3 inches finishing. So we're going to cut. Alright, so you're cutting from that descending line all the way straight down to the other side. I know. Just make it a habit, y'all. Just make it a habit. Put it all away. Wow, look at that. So now you have your fabric, and it's ready to go. 120 inches long, 6.5 inches wide. Let's head to the sewing machine. Okay, so to interrupt really quickly, we talked about the finishing and the finishing being at an angle. So what we want to do right now is just measure. I've actually taken it from up to 2 inches up, and I've taken from the end of the finishing, and I'm going to align my ruler with the line from the point of the finishing to that 2 inches in. I'm just going to draw a line. I'm going to go ahead and cut, just to give it that slash of the finishing. Flip it on the wrong side. So basically just pin your life away right now. Make sure that all the edges of the fabric are together and pin. Alright, now we're at the serger and the sewing machine. So what we're basically about to do is obviously it's sewing time. It's a woven fabric, unless you know your fabrics, then you know that this is actually supposed to be sewn first before serged. However, I am definitely trying to take an easier route out. As you can see that I'm actually not going to change the threads for the serger because it will not be shown in this fabric. So you really don't have to worry about changing the threads to be the exact same in this type of fabric, as it will not be shown on the other side. So I'm going to keep this thread that I have in the serger. I'm going to keep it in. I'm going to go ahead with right sides together, and I'm going to go ahead and start to sew. Hold it, and I'm going to start from the corner. So this is whatever corner. Like I sew, it's a serger, so you can only sew from this corner. And I bring the material on my lap to make it easier. Lappy. Ooh, my zipper's down. But anyways, yeah. So if you're new to serger, this is a domestic singer serger pro finish, and just be careful as you go around the corners. I'm not gonna really be able to hold the phone as I serge, so I will probably see you after the serge. Same size. I kind of hold it from here. So pretty much what you're doing for the rest of it. And this is what the serging does. It just gives it a clean finish. I could have just sewed it. I didn't really have to serge it, but yeah.
Okay, so one edge was left open, of course, to bring through the right sides of the fabric, pulling it all the way through out so that we're able to continue with our sewing. Alright, next we're going to bring it to the sewing machine, and like I said, it's a woven fabric as I explained before, so you're actually supposed to stitch it before you go ahead and serge it. However, I did the opposite, but it's okay. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of seam allowance. As remember, she wanted it 5 inches and it's 6.5 inches, so I'm going to have a 1 inch seam allowance right now that I'm going to sew. So just be careful around the corners and bring it all the way down. Same thing, just leaving that edge out.
With serge, when this is a woven fabric, you don't really need to serge the fabric. You can actually stitch is about 2. When I say 2. Yeah.
So what we're gonna do right now is just release the corners by snip. What it looks like a scrumpled up thing, and there's my hands, and I'm gonna pull it through. Fortunately, I can't hold the camera as I pull it, but you get the point. Pull it through.
The bottom, pull it through.
Okay, so it's finally that great time of the year where all you need to do is iron that bad boy all the way out to the edges, and just find the crease line and just make it lay flat, because yes, you've done a very good job and you're about to look great for your bends. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. Great job. Congratulations. Actually, this is my first time doing a sash, and I'm actually very happy with it. I'm going to do a few more in different colors. I really enjoyed this woven fabric. I don't know where it's from, but I know that my client will definitely enjoy it too. So thank you so much for watching, and you just have a great, beautiful week, and hope to see you again. Bye.